finally, the LOD calculation, which is level of detail. So first, why Tableau? So as we all know, Tableau is a BI tool that was designed to help the users to create visuals and graphics. But the main thing is that we don't need to have the knowledge of programming or any programmer. So Tableau is used to simplify complex data and also to make the visualization from the complex data set. So it's no doubt, it's an intelligent platform by which any business enterprise can gain insights and can comprehend with clients and customers at a faster and easy way. So we can say Tableau is highly scalable, easily deployable, and an efficient business framework. So this image depicts some of the advantages of using Tableau. First one is it is easy to use and it is less dependent on IT resources, in the sense we don't need to depend much on the programmer side. And the next is it has a storytelling feature and interactive visualization. We have a show me feature in Tableau. Using that, you can create different types of charts like line chart, area chart, bar chart, bullet chart, Gantt chart, pack bubble chart, and so on. So, and it can work with any data architecture, and the connectivity is very simple. It is a direct connection, and you can connect to multiple data sources in a single view. You can also create dashboards with interactivity. So once you're done with your dashboard, you can publish it to either offline or online. So it also respects security protocol, in the sense you can add OAuth and SAML permission if needed. So the different products by Tableau or Tableau Desktop, Tableau Reader, Tableau Server, Tableau Public, and Tableau Online. Out of these, Tableau Desktop has two versions. One is personal, another one is professional version. So in professional, there is no other limitation. It is full enterprise capability. In personal, we have a limitation like it cannot be connected to the Tableau server. So when it comes to the Tableau Reader point of view, here you can view and interact, but you can't edit any workbooks. So when it comes to Tableau Public, here everything is available publicly. You can share it with any users and you can view any other contents, you can edit, all are possible. And once you're done with your workbook, you can share it to either Tableau server or Tableau online. So out of this, Tableau server needs a host machine, whereas Tableau online don't need any infrastructure. But we have a limitation with the Tableau online. Like actually, we can connect in two ways, either by live connection or extra connection. We will see what it is in the upcoming slides. And if you're going with a live connection, you have a limitation like it can be connected only with Google BigQuery and then Amazon Redshift. And these are the OAS which were supported in the corresponding version of Tableau and their cost. Out of these, Tableau Public and Reader are free out of cost. And for Tableau Desktop, we have a 14-day trial pack. You can try over it. So for any questions, Steve? Okay, then let me. So the first step in Tableau is that we need to provide connection to the data source. Once you're done with the connection, you can use either of these steps, like either you can go with relationship, joins, unions, or blend technique to connect two tables. So actually, in Tableau consists of two tables. One is logical table and another one is the physical table. So relationship is done on logical table. If you double click on the logical table layer, you will be getting a layer that is referred as physical table. So joins is performed on the physical table, whereas union can be done in both logical and physical table. Blend works on sheet by sheet basis. Sheet by sheet basis in the sense, say for example, in sheet 1, you have two data source. One is data source 1 and another one is data source 2. So in this, one will act as a primary and the second data source will act as a secondary. Whereas in sheet 2, the second data source can act as primary and one can act as a secondary. So it differs on the sheet by sheet. You can decide which one is primary and secondary and not on the entire workbook basis. So we can say blend is, it works on sheet by sheet basis. And if you're combining two tables using joins, the number of columns will get increased. Whereas if you combine two tables using union, the number of rows will get increased. So based on your requirement, you can use either of these techniques to provide data connection. And as I already said, we have two ways to connect. One is live and another one is extract. Live is nothing but you will be working with the real-time data. If you make any changes in your underlying data, it will get automatically reflected in your view. Whereas in case of extract, it is nothing but we can say extract as a snapshot of the live copy. If you make any changes, it will not automatically get reflected since it is a copy of the live data. So we need to manually refresh it. For that, we have two techniques. One is full refresh and another one is incremental refresh. The default technique is full refresh. Full refresh in the sense the entire table will get refreshed. In case of incremental refresh, the entire table won't get refreshed. Only if you have made any changes or you have added rows or columns, only those rows and columns will get refreshed. So now we are done with your data connection, and now we are going to your sheet. You can find that your fields get distinguished as dimensions and measures, and each field is assigned a role under data type. A role in the sense it can be a discrete dimension or continuous dimension, discrete measure or continuous measure. But the most common is dimensions are mostly discrete and measures are mostly continuous. Let's see what is discrete, continuous, and dimension measures in the upcoming slides. And the different types of data types supported by Tableau or text, numerical, and yes. So discrete in the sense, if you add a discrete dimensions or a discrete measure into the view, you will be getting a header. If you add a continuous dimension or continuous measure into the view, you will be getting the axis. Meaning in the sense, discrete or finite, so we will be getting a header, and continuous or infinite, so you'll be getting an axis. So we can say discrete as separate and distinct values, continuous or unbroken whole, so that we'll be getting an axis. Then what's meant by dimensional measures? Dimension is nothing but it will provide qualitative values, whereas measure will provide us quantitative values. We can say subcategory, category, the name of a company or industry, all these sorts of fields will come under dimensions. Whereas in case of measures, we can say sum of profit, minimum distance, average of sales. So these all will come under the fields will come under the measures. So if you add a dimension into the view, it will affect the level of granularity. Whereas if you add a measure into the view, it won't affect the level of granularity. Instead, it will adhere the level of granularity. So we can say dimension as context and measure as content. And we have mostly we used to misunderstand that mostly blue stands for dimension and green stands for measures in Tableau. It's absolutely wrong. Blue stands for discrete and green stands for continuous. Till now, any doubts, Steve? Okay, let me proceed. So now you're done with your view. Then you can add either filters to, if needed, you can add filters to your view. There are different types of filters in Tableau. One is extract filters, data source filters, context filters, dimension filters, measure filters, and table calculation filter. And in between, we have these filters as well. So all these filters are independent filters except the context filter. It is a dependent filter. If you want to make two fields result to be dependent on each other, you can go with the context filter. This can be achieved by simply by right clicking on a field and provide add to context. So it will become a gray color. It's a simple step. By doing this, your filter will get a dependent filter. And if you want to be independent, you can use any of these filters. And these extract filters and data source filters are done at the data pane level, whereas the other filters are done at the sheet level. Next, organizing and simplifying the data part. We have different techniques like you can use sort, hierarchies, groups, sets, and parameter control. Of these sorts, we have different types of computed and manual sort. Manual sort in the sense we need to manually drag and drop over it. And in computer sort is nothing but you can either sort using alphabetical order or using a data source order or based on a field. You can provide these options. And hierarchy. Hierarchy in the sense by default, Tableau will add hierarchy to the date part. If you add a date into the view, you can see that you will get a plus icon over it. So if you click on that, it will get drilled down as year will split into quarter, quarters to months, months to week, and so on. And if you click on the minus icon, it will get drilled up. So you can also create your own hierarchy. For example, if you have a country, city, state, postal code, you can create your own hierarchies so that you don't need to add each and every time the single fields. If you add the country alone, based on if you're clicking on the plus icon, it will get drill up and drill down. And Groups are nothing but it will group or similar categories to each other. So groups in Tableau, it is not possible to create dynamic groups. We can create only static groups. Whereas in sets, you can create both static and dynamic static sets, both static and dynamic sets. So static set is nothing but if you create from your visualization, it is set as static set. And if you create in your data pane by clicking on the field, it is referred as dynamic sets. And parameter control is nothing but if you want your value to be dynamic, you can use the parameter control to achieve that in order to change it, the values if you're using in a calculation or a parameter case. In that case, you can use the parameter to make it a value as dynamic. So groups versus sets. So this paperclip icon stands for groups and this Venn diagram, this symbol stands for sets. So if you create a groups, you can notice that in the describe, it will be added to a dimension. Whereas in sets, you can go and see this describe option. It will not provide us, it is a dimension. And say we have a three option, A, B, and C. I'm grouping these three A, B, C. You can find your label as for groups as A, B, C. Whereas for sets, it won't be like A, B, C. You can provide any name over it. That is the meaning like members are not merged in sets. So as I already said, groups are always static in Tableau and sets can be static and dynamic in Tableau. So you're done with your sheets or dashboard and you can add interactivity to either sheet or dashboard, the different interactivity provided, or you can either add filters, highlight, go to URL, go to sheet, change parameter or change set values. In all these interactivity is a simple step. You will be having a source sheet and a target sheet. For example, if you are providing an option like I am providing a certain field in the source sheet, based on that the result gets filtered in the target sheet. So you can select what is the show sheet and what is the target sheet. So in each of the interactivity, the similar steps is followed. So now you're done with your view. Now you have to save and you can share it with your colleagues or whoever it may be. So for that, Tableau supports 5 type formats. One is Tableau workbook and Tableau packaged workbook. And similarly, Tableau data source and Tableau packaged data source and a hyper format. So these are the symbols. If it is package, we will be getting this brown line. And if it is data source, you will be getting this blue cylinder. And if it is an extract, you will be getting this double cylinder, which is green. Since it is a copy of the live data, we are getting this symbol. So this Tableau workbook will contain either the sheets or dashboards, or it can be stories. Whereas TWBX is nothing but it will contain .twb along with any local copy files if you have added any custom images. So those will be get added to this zip file. And .tds is nothing but it will contain the connection information along with the metadata properties. Like if you have added any group sets or hierarchy, those will get added to .tds. Then .tdsx is nothing but it will contain .tds along with your local copy of data, not the original data. And Tableau extract is nothing but you will be getting the snapshot of the live data. So any doubts in the theory part so far? Okay, let me get into the challenges. So first challenge is based on groups and sets. It's nothing but we have been approached by a venture capital fund. So the board of directors are currently viewing, they are taking the 1,000 startup companies and they are providing a criteria like they should have high revenue, low expenses and top growth over the 2015 year. So based on this, you're investing their amount. So this is the criteria. We need to create a chart with high revenue, low expense and top growth for the year 2015. So let's start with that. The first and foremost step is we need to connect to our data source. So first step is click on connect to data. If it is a CSV file, you need to connect with text files. And since I am having a .xls file, I'm going with this Microsoft Excel. Click over it and choose your data set. So this is the data source page. You can see over here. Here we can create either joins, unions, or relationship. Here, first I'm going to work with the joins. So first I'm dragging the first table, financial. This is the logical table. Double click over it, you'll be getting a physical table and drag it over here. And here you have an option like whether you can choose inner, left, right, or full outer join. I am going with inner join for this requirement. And it will get automatically mapped if your data type and the name are same, or else you can go and change based on your requirement. So I'm leaving it as ID as well. And now you can see that the tables get joined. First start from the financial, and at the last you can see the columns were from overview table. So let's start building the view. So 2015, our requirement is based on 2015 expense and revenue. So click over it and click on the show me icon. You will be provided with this orange bar, which is the suggested graph for this. You can also change other graphs if needed. This is the scatter plot. I'm going over with this. Here we have only this a single value. Since it's sum of these value, I don't want it to be aggregated. So if you uncheck this, you will get all your 1,000 companies. You can check over here the 1,000 marks at the bottom we have got. And the thing is that now I'm going to create a set over the ID. Since IDs are unique, I'm going to create here from create set. And I'm naming it as high revenue. We have an option like select over it. The values will get added. And use all is nothing but even if you make changes in your use all option, and you have an option like condition. In this condition, I'm going to choose revenue 2015 revenue whose sum greater than, I'm giving it a, since all are in million, greater than 6 million. Okay. And if you drop it over, these are shelves, different shelves in Tableau, page shelf, filter shelf. We call it, this is mark shelf, column shelf, and row shelf. In this mark shelf, we have different options like color. You can drag it fields either to color, size, label, or detail, tooltip, shape based on the different types of chart you choose over here. So here I'm going to drop this high revenue over color, and you can see that if you click on this in highlight, greater than 6 million, we are getting. Similarly, I'm going to create one more set for low revenue. Create set low revenue. Same condition. I'm giving use all provided condition. Choose 2015 revenue. I want low revenue, so I'm giving that, let it be less than 8 million. I'm giving. Okay. If I drag this to color, you can see that whose revenue less than 8 million. We are getting those as in, and those out of those condition as out. Now what I'm going to do is, in order to make the values each and every time, we can't go and change in the set. So for that, we can go with parameter control to make the values dynamic. So I'm going to create a parameter out of it for high revenue. You can choose options like either integer, string, float, or I'm going with integer. It's a range of values. My minimum value is 1. And you can see the axis, high revenue values, 16 million maximum value. So I'm giving it as 16 million. And similarly, one more parameter for low expenses. Let me name it over as integer. And for expenses, the maximum limit is 10 million. Minimum value 1, maximum. Yes. Okay. Now what we need to do is go over to your sets, right click and edit set. In that, I'm going to write a formula. Same this thing which you have done by field, I'm going to write in a formula. Since to make it as dynamic, you can give it as sum of 2015 revenue greater than, you have to choose your parameter, high revenue you can see that the parameters are in the purple color. It will be, you can check it over it and give apply. Okay, similarly for low revenue, give it as edit set. Sorry, low expenses. I need to change the name. It is low expenses. Same formula, sum of 2015 expenses less than low expenses. Click on apply. Low expenses. Let me check. Sum of is my screen visible to everyone? Hello.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, same thing. You need to go over with the formula. You need to choose. Let me refresh for me. Edit, edit over a set. So lower expenses. We are done with lower expenses, and we move for high revenue. Edit set. Your high revenue you have got. And the thing is that now I'm going to combine over these two sets. Select over the set and provide create combine set, and you have an option like either all members or share members. I'm going with this full outer join since I need both the members over it, and I name it as target. Okay, and drop it over color. And now, or one more requirement is we also need the top growth. So for that, I'm creating one more set from the name create set top growth. Same thing, use all. Here you have an option like top. You can choose here by field top, and you can create a new parameter from here itself, like top growth. Okay, but we need to choose this 2015 growth whose sum value. Okay, now we need to click on each parameter and provide a show parameter, and similarly show parameters, and here also give it a show parameter. So if you adjust, you can find your changes in the corresponding graphs. For that, what we need to do is we need to put it color over detail, and I have added this as well to color. Sorry, need to add it target as well as the stop growth and change this to color as well. So now since these colors were not satisfied, what I'm going to do is you can go over here and edit colors. This in is what we are looking for. It satisfies high revenue, low expense, and top growth. And in out is nothing but it is satisfy high revenue, low expense, and not top growth. And out is it doesn't satisfy any condition. So I don't want this to be. So I'm getting this as red over here. Okay, so based on your top growth, you can find that the values will get changed as dynamic, and similarly your low expenses and high revenue value will get changed dynamically. So based on this, the venture capital fund will invest the fund. And I have already created over here this view in the dashboard as well. You can do this formatting by right clicking over here and give format title, and you can add colors over here, and you can add reference lines and drop lines if needed to make us interactive when you're presenting to some presentation point of view. So this is this use case one. So for any doubts, Steve? Okay, let me proceed. So next is challenge two, which is based on animation, which is nothing but We have been approached by a World Bank as a Tableau developer. They want to analyze the past 50 years population values. For that, they asked us to create a view based on fertility, life expectancy, and population. In addition, they want to drill their population values based on the countries. So we need to create a view based on this. For this, we have 4 data sources. Follow the steps which I have done for the first challenge. So I have connected these 4 data sets, and here first I click over the first data set, country population. Here we have for each year 1960 to almost 2013, we have their corresponding population value. So in order to reduce this column to rows, what I'm going to do is click over here as we do in Excel by clicking on Control and Shift. Click over here and click on the pivot option. Now you can find that it has been reduced to 2 tables. You can rename over it by double clicking on it as year and country population. Okay. So similarly, we have fertility rate table year and the corresponding fertility rate data. And this data set you have year and the corresponding life expectancy rate. And similarly, here we have the country information, whose region and their income group. So here I'm going to use the blend concept. Since this page shelf is mainly responsible for the animation, since we need to animate over the past 50 years, I'm going to drop this year over page shelf. And this is the animated shelf we have got. From out of these 4 data source, the field which you placed as first will act as a primary, and the remaining data source will act as a secondary. And you can notice here, since you have placed your field year here, it has automatically provided a link, which is an active link. Remaining all on inactive link, if needed, you can make it active. And similarly, you can edit your blend relationship by choosing the primary and secondary data source. It has automatically mapped these fields. I don't want this country name, indicator code, and indicator name, since we don't have any works to be done based on this. I am removing these fields. I want only these 2 fields to be mapped. So I'm removing over this. Let me remove these fields. Remove. And similarly for metadata properties, custom, go to custom, and I'm removing this country name and okay. So, and in the remaining data set, since I need to work with country code, so I'm making it as active. Okay. Our requirement is based on fertility rate and life expectancy. So place fertility rate to either rows or column shelf, and similarly life expectancy. I'm placing it over here, and we need the population value. For that, I'm going to country population data and placing it over size and country code to column. And you can increase the size by clicking on the size shelf, and you can change it to the circle or any square shape based on your requirement. And here I'm going with the circle shape. And you can add borders as well by clicking on the borders here. So this is the animation shelf which is responsible here. If you click on this, it will animate in the backward years. And if you click on here, it will animate forward years 2014, 1962, the 2016 years. And this indicates the speed of animation. So it will be very slow, and this is very fast. And you also have an option like you can loop playback. So if we check over here and animate it, it will keep on looping the animation. If you don't want, you can uncheck over here. And similarly, we have a show history operation. So if you click here, you have different options like whether for selected one or highlighted one or manual one. For all, you should show history. And similarly, you have whether for all values or for last 5 to 10 values or based on your requirement. And let me show for this selected all, and marks is show type is mark. So if you click over here, you could see that you can see the history of all the years. And if I change it to trials, you can see that you will be getting a line alone, not the marks. And if you click give it as both, you will get both marks and trials. You can get both marks and trials. And similarly, if you give it over last 5 values, and if you select a value, you could see only the history for last 5. And similarly, you have for highlighted manual and all, you can work around it and explore it. And for if you have selected marks, you have the option to format the different types of colors, or it should be faded, how much it should be faded. So you can have this option for marks if you choose trials. Similarly, you have an option for trials as well. So this is the main thing is that whatever you place in this page shelf, it is responsible for the animation. That's what we learned from this second challenge. So for any questions, team? Okay, then let me proceed with the third challenge. Our third challenge is based on advanced mapping technique. So the requirement is nothing but it's an overcrowded office. They are facing this difficulty in booking the meeting rooms. But the higher authority are saying that your book, a maximum meeting rooms has been booked, but it is not being utilized properly. So in order to find these distinction, they asked us to create a map. For that, they have provided us 2 floor plans. One is ground floor and the first floor, and they want to differentiate based on that. So we are going to create using those floor maps. Clear this. If you right click over here and click on close, it will get closed. Similarly, connect to the third challenge data set. Background maps. This one is meeting rooms. So I'm adding rooms. Similarly, I'm going to connect it over joins. Same inner join. And I have one more data set. Data, new data source, Microsoft Excel, connector. Here we have the utilization details. Okay. So here I am taking this rooms is primary, and I'm going to create a polygon chart. So for polygon, we need 3 main things. One is X and Y coordinates value and the path. Path in the sense, say for example, you have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, whether I need to first connect 1, 1 to 3, 3 or 2, 2. These details we need for this. We have taken this path detail. I want it to be in dimension. So simply click and drag over it. It will get added to path. And I'm putting X to columns, Y to rows, and add path to this path shelf, and room to colors. You could see that we are getting both the first floor and the ground floor, what are all the rooms available. But our requirement is they need to differentiate between the ground floor and the first floor. For this purpose, I'm dragging floors onto filter shelf, and I'm selecting it as first floor. And click over it and you show filter. And I don't want this all options since I need to provide at a time only one value to select. So go to customize and uncheck this show all value and select this single value list, which is a radio button. So if you click on this, you can see that either it shows first floor or ground floor room details. And the thing is that they want the background maps to be added at the background. For that, what we need to do is go to maps, background images, rooms, click on add image, browse over here and click on this ground floor. And we need to give this right and top value, which you can find from this image. Go to desktop, challenge 3, this image, ground, say for ground floor, click over the properties, details. Here you have the dimension value 2481 1756, which is nothing but the height and width value. We need to provide this value into here. Yes, 2481 and 1754. Okay. And we have one more option when this image should be shown. For this, you have an option tab. Click over here, add when the floor is ground floor. So we need to show this image. So I have added over here. Okay. Similarly, add for the first floor as well. Go to add image, browse, first floor. Similarly, the dimension value, same dimension value for this. 1754. And similarly options, add floor as first floor. Okay, click on OK. And if it is valid, it will show us valid. If not, we need to adjust it, what is wrong. And click on this, okay. Since we didn't get the map, since we not added the flow over to this mark shelf. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm adding rooms to detail and flows to this rooms to color. Let me add flow to details. And I'm adjusting the sorry, opacity, since we are not able to see what is available. So now it is visible. So now if you shift between your first floor and ground floor, the maps also, background maps also get shifted based on it. And the final thing we need to add is the utilization level. What is the book utilization? What is the actual utilization level? For that, what we're going to do is we're going to create a calculated field. First, we need to create a parameter. First, create a parameter to select the visualization type. Select utilization type. I'm naming it as string. I'm going to add a list. One is actual utilization and the other one is booked. Okay. Now I'm going to create a calculated field as utilization if select the double if condition. Select the parameter value, select utilization type equal to actual. It should show the actual utilization value, or else it should show the booked utilization. So this is the formula. So if it is valid, it will show as valid. Click on apply. Okay. Now drag this utilization. Let me put this room also here and utilization to color. I want the average level of utilization, not the sum. So I'll change it over sum. And I'm changing the color as red, blue, diverging. And I wanted red to be at the most level. So I'm reversing the color. Okay. So click on this, select utilization type, show parameter, and similarly single value list. So now if you see, the actual level of utilization is 21.78, but the booked level is high, 72.52, but it is not utilized properly. So based on this, you can shift between first floor and ground floor maps and the actual and the booked utilization. So for any doubts, team, in this challenge? Okay, then let me proceed with the next challenge. Here, it's also based on a mapping technique, but the thing is that a coffee shop is going to construct a new coffee shop in a location, but they want to identify that their customers should not be not more than 0.5 miles. So for that, they asked us to create a visualization. In that, they asked us to create two requirements. One is all current store locations showing the monthly turnover and the number of months that store has been operating. One is this one. And the next one is the not more than half mile from another branch. So for this, what we are going to do is we are going to connect to the coffee shop. Connect your data and Microsoft Excel. Choose your data set, custom images over here. And sheet 1, we have your data, monthly turnover. Let us create the first map. Click on latitude and longitude. You'll be getting over your maps. I'm adding a store name. So what are all the stores available in this location you've got? They asked us to create the monthly turnover and the months open. So this is the first requirement they have asked us. They asked us to show the monthly turnover and the number of months the store has been open for all locations. So we are done with the first one. Second thing is that we need to find the difference in the miles. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to this same data set. In order to compare with each store, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this same set, but I'm comparing it based on store ID. Those are not equal. So to calculate the distance, I'm performing this step. And click over sheet 2. Similarly, place latitude and longitude and add store ID to detail. You'll get your shapes. And here I'm going to add the custom image. How to add custom image is that, first of all, go to your Tableau repository, location, documents, my Tableau repository, and shapes. Here you have a folder like custom shapes. First place your image over here, and the next step is that go to here, shapes, more shapes, and if you choose your custom shapes, you will get and select this coffee mug. Click on apply and OK. Now you could see that the coffee shapes are visible. And we need to calculate the distance. For that, I am creating a formula, distance. In Google, you can find the formula to calculate the distance. If it is miles, you will be having the 3959, or else if it is based on kilometer, 3440. Since ours is based on 0.5 miles, I'm choosing this formula. Click on apply, OK. And in order to differentiate what are all the coffee shops too far, I'm writing a formula as if the minimum of distance greater than 0.5, those are all yes, and if not, show it as no. Click on apply and OK. And what I'm going to do is I'm putting this to distance, not the sum of distance I want the minimum of distance. So I'm putting as minimum and adding this to color. Let me increase the size over here. It's too big. Yeah. Now if you click on highlight on S, you could see that these are the coffee shops which are greater than 0.5, and they can construct a coffee shop in between these two locations, or here, over here, or here. So these are less than 0.5. So this is the requirement. They asked us to construct this from this. Challenge 4, coffee proximity. Do you have any questions, team, on this challenge? Okay, then let me go with the final challenge. This is the level of detail calculation. Level of detail is nothing but we have a visualization. We should not disturb that visualization. Instead of that, we need to calculate a value based on the calculation field. For that, we have three types of LOD calculation. One is include, another one is exclude, and finally fixed. Include is nothing but you have country and state in your view, but you need to show the profit level based on the city. For that, what we need to do is we will write this LOD calculation based on include city. Based on that, calculate the sum of profit. And similarly, exclude is nothing but you have country, state, and city in your visualization, but you want to calculate the profit based on the state level, not the city level. For that case, you will write a calculated field like exclude city. So based on that, calculate the sum of profit. And finally, fixed. Fixed is nothing but it won't take whatever the fields in the visualization, whatever you give in your formula, like fixed level of country, state, and city. Calculate the sum of profit based on these country, state, and city level, even though they are not in the visualization. So in that case, the level of detail plays an important role. Here, the requirement is they asked us to create state colors. In that, state colors represent the average profit across the city level, and the circles and sizes represent the overall profit divided by the percent contribution of each city. So based on this, they asked us to create this view. Let me explain over it and you can try on that. So here, this is the initial view. We have country and state, but what our requirement is the state color should represent the average profit across the city point of view. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to write this formula. You have to write same in the calculated field as include city and calculate the sum of profit. So if you go over here, you could find that. So this is without LOD calculation. This with LOD calculation. With LOD calculation, we have only country and state, but the profit shown here all at the city level. Here you can see that it is based on country and state level alone, since it is only in the view we have country and city, and we are calculating the average of profit. Here also you have country and state, but in the formula LOD includes city, you have included the city LOD detail and added it to color and text value. So you will be getting this profit based on the city level. And next one is exclude. In the exclude, you have country, state, and city level. This is your initial view, but we need to calculate at the state level and not the city level. For that, what we are going to do is click on this edit. You could see the formula is exclude city and calculate the sum of profit. This is a formula. So based on that, similar to that, this is with LOD and the right side is without LOD. Here you have country, state, and city, but we have added this LOD exclude save to our color and detail shelf. And so the final value which we get is based on the state level and not on the city level. And finally, LOD fixed. LOD fixed is nothing but we have country, state, and not the city level. But in the fixed formula, what you have written is we need give country, state, and city. We have given all these three fields. So it should calculate based on the profit based on this city level, country, state, and city level, and not on the country and state level. So this similarly, this is with LOD calculation fixed, and this is without LOD calculation. Our requirement is we need to combine this both include and exclude chart. So how to combine chart is that it's a simple step. Let me show that alone. Click over latitude, longitude, and copy one more longitude as well, and you will get an option like dual axis. So now your map gets merged and you get a separate box for each. So you can drag and drop whatever fields you want for the first map, and similarly for second map. Our requirement is in longitude, we should have what are all the fields available here in the include, and in the second map, we need to have what are all the values available in the exclude. And this part is nothing but they asked us to calculate the percentage difference between these two profit and those without the city level profit. This is what the circle color and size mean. So if you combine the chart, you will get this similar view over it. Here you could see that these colors represent the profit at the city level, and these saves and shies values represent the percent of sum of profit over the entire city level divided by the individual city level value. So these colors and shapes indicate those values. So this is the corresponding requirement over it. So can anyone guess the answer for this? Even if it is wrong, please. Okay. Can anyone give a try? So which of the following statement is true when we add a new dimension to your visualization, whether it will increase the level of granularity or it will decrease the level of aggregation?
It will increase the level of granularity.
Yeah. Thank you. And second question is, what is the correct usage of LOD include? Can anyone guess the syntax? What is the correct syntax which is used for include level of detail? Okay.
B.
Yeah, correct. It's B. So if it is include, the syntax is the starting will be include and the corresponding which field and the corresponding measure type based on we need to give. It's correct. Thank you for your answers. So I'm almost done, team. So for any questions do you have?
So is there any questions for our speaker?
from the participants end? Okay, fine. Okay, thank you everyone who all are participate and join and make this event as successful. And I like to announce we have two more events in our pipelines. Like it's based on the JavaScript certification concept. So how to crack the certification in JavaScript. So our speaker gives some tips and how to crack those things in a concept wise. So we have another two more sessions in based like alternative for the asynchronous effects. We know about the asynchronous effects. So it's that concept we can access the records in a bulkified manner. So we have some alternate options through the flow builder. So another one is the appointment scheduler. So we can able to schedule the appointment through the flow builder. So these are three are the upcoming sessions in our pipeline. So don't miss this one. Kindly do the RSVP. And we have some we picked some winners based on the social media promotion and concurrent participation in our Salesforce admin group Trichy events. So we reveal the winners details through the social media. So please keep touch with us. Once you get the redemption code, if you need any assist for convert the redemption to code to certification voucher, so please reach out to us. So thank you once again for all the participants to make this event as successful. Thank you everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks all for the session.